Hey everybody, happy Maroon Friday. Welcome back to Going for Two with Jack Taylor. My name is Jack Taylor.
My name's Hunter too.
And we are so excited to be back for another weekend of SEC baseball. We have a lot to talk about today with the huge series we're just coming off of and a huge series coming up. But first, obviously, we want to start with a little Friday morning motivation. So this is less of a motivational quote and more of a reminder, I feel like. So it's just, if you're listening to this on a Friday morning, just this is your reminder to make your bed and get all those empty water cups from on your bedside table and around your room. Just take those to the kitchen. It'll really help out you if you're the one that has to wash them or whoever has to wash them. So just your reminder to do that if they've accumulated. But if you don't have to do that, you can at least make your bed, and it will honestly just give you a sense of accomplishment for the day.
All right, hold up. Let me get this can out. Well, I hated that, but I do feel motivated.
Yeah,
and
as you should.
It's Friday morning motivation.
Yeah.
And we had a motivated team 2 out of 3 games against Ole Miss.
I mean, wow. I'm not going to say they're our rival, but it was huge.
It's kind of like calling Tennessee versus Alabama in football rivalry at this point.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But absolutely, just a huge win, series win, a resume builder that we really needed, and a resume builder that Ole Miss needed as well.
Hope Ole Miss doesn't get swept by LSU.
Yeah.
The LSU win may be more of a resume builder.
I know we talked last week about Ole Miss really needing that more than we did, but now that we've got it, it feels really good to have.
It does.
We did need that to make our resume look like a top 10 team that we all know we were. So, what else do we have in store today, though?
We're just going to do Ole Miss game.
Okay.
Then we're going to go right into the Vandy game. We're not really going to touch on the UAB game. It was UAB. Logan Tanner hit the ball hard.
Yeah, Tanner Leggett, first career home run. Well, we will touch on. We just touched on it.
If your name's Tanner, you did good.
Yeah, Tanner Allen, another double, hustle double, maybe a stolen base or two. So all right, that's it for the UAB.
And then we're getting to Vanderbilt, and then we just have some slight Instagram questions.
Yeah, we're not gonna do players as dogs or players as cats. But for fun segments in the future, if you guys would have any suggestions at all, please let us know. And
ranking the SEC quarterbacks by hotness.
Hate that, and I don't ever want to do that. But
yeah,
if it's what you guys want, then it's what you guys will get.
100 listeners on the next one, and we'll do SEC quarterbacks ranked by hotness. They can't see the stats. We'll just say, oh, it's an 80. Okay. Well, let's get into the Ole Miss series.
All right. So, unfortunately, I was not able to be there on Friday night. But could you just explain to me what a full capacity Dudy Noble Field looked like on Friday night?
I think they said that there was like 10K there.
Yeah.
No chance.
Wasn't close.
Like maybe 13.5, 14, somewhere in those numbers. But I'm liking our skills of lying about how many people are there.
Yeah.
It may come in handy in the postseason here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think in the postseason we could make that look like 8,000.
I mean,
that would make us look
about
really
30K.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But that game was so great.
Yeah.
Sitting in the berms, got there like 3 hours early, barely got a spot. Sitting next to an Ole Miss fan. He had a great night.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure like this huge crowd, us scoring in the first inning, only fueled that just a little bit.
Yeah.
So, just what an incredible game, though.
It was. TA and Cameron James were our entire offense. They single-handedly beat Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Cameron James, 4 RBIs and a home run.
Yeah.
My goodness, he was.
And his home run came on the bottom half of the inning where TJ McCants took the lead. I mean, Ole Miss took the lead with his home run, and Cameron led off the bottom half of the inning and just was like, "All right, I'll do you one better."
Cameron James, when he crushes a ball,
yeah, and he's gonna be fun to watch for at least another year.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna be really good.
I cannot wait. Excited. It looks so much like Foscue.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense how similar he is to Foscue.
Yeah, but in that game, so Tanner Allen had 3 hits. Surprisingly, not the best game he had in this series either, or not the best moment at least. And Cameron James, like we said, with 4 RBIs, just an incredible game for those two guys. And Tanner Allen in the 2-hole, Cameron James batting third. I think that's a really good spot for both of them.
Yeah, only 2 more people in the entire lineup had hits. Rowdy had a hit, and kind of forgot who had the other hit. Scotty DeBrule, which he seems to be heating up now, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Going in this game, going into this weekend, Derek Diamond was pulled from his Sunday starting duties.
Yeah.
And in a Friday game where it was close, like 1-run game.
Yeah, 3-2.
Bianco decided to put in Derek Diamond.
Yeah.
And you know me, I go on message boards and I like to see what other fans are saying. And they were just wanting to know, when's the last time someone got their starting spot taken and then is the first relief pitcher seen out of the bullpen in a 1-run game?
Can you guys imagine if we took Sarantola out? I mean, we let him start that Sunday series against, or that Sunday game of the LSU series. He obviously just didn't do well. And then the next weekend against Arkansas, he's the first guy out of the pen on Friday. I mean, that would be ridiculous. And that's exactly what Ole Miss did. I mean, that is the equivalent there.
Yeah, Hoagland had a great game.
Yeah, went
C-Mac had a great game, but their bullpen Derek Diamond let that game fall apart. And, I mean, it wasn't, like, horrible or anything, but we were told Broadway was their kind of like Landon, but
yeah.
It's not like that at all.
Yeah, and if he was their Landon, he would have come out of the pen on Friday and then been ready to come out on Sunday as well. Which we did see him Sunday. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But so Derek Diamond just wasn't able to do it for him. Really cost Hoagland a really great start, 7 innings, and in the 8th inning there, we just were able to expand our lead to 5-2, and Landon is just untouchable.
Yeah, so, Preston was great.
Yeah,
like Preston is back. There's no question in my mind. The problems in Auburn were an anomaly. Landon is so for real. Like, seeing like the soul like drop out of Ole Miss's team when Landon came in, like it was different.
Yeah.
The place erupted, and this wasn't even as good as his Sunday appearance.
Yeah, and I would like to say I've been pretty on fire with some picks that I've made in the last couple weeks, but my favorite pick that I've made this whole season is, you asked me the first week who the heart and soul of this team is, and I said Landon. That was just after hearing his name one time and seeing him like flex off the mound the first time he pitched at State, and he has become the heart and soul not only for the team but for the fans as well. And it's been crazy.
My player of the week had a pretty good weekend too. Tanner Allen.
You're right. My player of the week, Lane Forsythe. Whew. Almost cost us a game on Sunday, and we'll talk about that in a minute as well.
Okay, so Saturday, otherwise known as Doug Day.
Mm-hmm.
We fell victim to the boogeyman.
Yeah. To DUI Doug.
DUI Doug. He's had to say it twice.
Yeah.
Weird.
Doug Nikhazy came in, and from the very first inning, Ole Miss scored in the top half of the first, and from then on, we didn't do anything. Doug Nikhazy, 9 innings of 1 hit, no run, 14 strikeout baseball. Probably the most dominant pitching performance I've ever seen in person my entire life. I mean, he was National Player of the Week, SEC Pitcher of the Week.
Deserved it all.
Yeah, absolutely. And did it with a lot less flamboyance than I expected him to. Like, he didn't dance.
There was like 1 K strut the whole game, and that was the end of the game, and that was just a flex.
Yeah, in a game where, I mean, you're playing your rival, like you're dominating them. I would expect any of our pitchers to do something like that, really. Yeah. But he kept his composure and really just killed us the entire game. Braylon with a chopper up the middle that was a few inches from being gloved by Nikhazy. I mean, that's the only hit we had, and we weren't able to do anything with it. So
the fans never had a chance to even get in this game.
Yeah,
it was downhill from the first pitch almost.
Yeah, I mean, you had a maroon white chant tried to get started when Braylon got that hit, but there was no hope. I mean, we looked bad.
There was nothing. Another thing that looked bad. People asked for it for a while. Hey, let's move Hatcher out of first.
Yeah,
Hancock.
We saw that in the first inning make a difference, and Hancock just looked uncomfortable at first. Obviously, no more offensive production than we would have seen if Hatch had been in the lineup, but it was just.
It wasn't the lineup that needed to be out there, and
Yeah.
Nikhazy's stuff isn't like that good. He goes off, like different than what Bianco calls like pitches wise.
Yeah.
Because like you can see like teams against Ole Miss, like they know like what's gonna come 0-2. Yeah. But with Nikhazy, it was different.
There was nothing predictable about it.
It seemed like he had control of the entire game.
Yeah.
Dope day.
There would be a 90-mile-an-hour fastball followed by like 3 straight 72-mile-an-hour, 68-mile-an-hour curveballs, and you're like, at that moment, I'm like, how is any hitter ever expected?
Pretty sure he throws his changeup and his fastball the same exact speed.
Makes sense.
And to go on top of this, Bednar had his worst start.
Yeah, it couldn't have contrasted any worse than that. It was bad. From the very first inning, like we said, they scored in the top of the first. Just couldn't command anything. Didn't have a strikeout pitch, and I think he got to 2 strikes on a few guys, but just
didn't have a strikeout pitch.
Yeah, and everything that they touched, there was no lazy fly balls. It was kind of like the Arkansas series without the home runs. They were just barreling everything.
Yeah.
So barreled a few balls that I thought Rowdy could catch, but they just traveled over his head, and it was rough.
Yeah. Luckily, we didn't go deep into our bullpen. We didn't really see any guys that we would like to see on a weekend. We kind of felt the atmosphere. We're like, yeah, this isn't our game. Let's just end it with some other guys, preserve the bullpen. We tried a lefty, but, like, you can't put out Hootie out there. Like, we needed him for Sunday.
And there's 2 sides of this. I could definitely see fans, complaining that Lemonis kind of mailed this one in too early. I think it was 4-5-0 when Bednar came out of there, and you're like, I guess there is a chance that we could win, but like you said, Lemonis is just really good at sensing that atmosphere and not like necessarily mailing it in. Mikey Tepper and Cam Tuller are pretty good pitchers, and they're definitely going to be big arms
someday.
At some point, yeah, but we didn't throw out Landon and Hootie, Preston, Parker Stinnett out there, because we knew that that's one game. Yeah. And we have a series to win. And so very, very thankful for Lemonis doing that. But at the same time, I see the other way. I can see, like, hey, this is still a big game. Still Super Bulldog weekend. You still have a lot of people here. Why not just throw everything you can to try to stop the bleeding?
When Tepper came out, me and you kind of looked at each other. We were like, what's that for? But then I kind of look at our roster. And I'm like, okay, so you want a lefty in there because righty isn't working.
Yeah.
And your option is Hootie and Tepper and like 2 other guys that.
Yeah, if we had started the game just like Ole Miss on offense and we were hitting the ball too, I think it's a completely different strategy. But
Brandon Smith is in the game.
Yeah, but like that. All that being said, I'm very thankful that Lemonis did that, because moving on to Sunday, we had a very, very stacked bullpen, and we were able to use it.
So did Ole Miss. They only had one pitcher, and I think he pitched like 20 pitches out of the bullpen. Yeah. So like I think honestly he's even available, and we had the same exact thing. I think Landon and Preston are both available. Yeah. They were both in the bullpen at a time, and Landon did come out.
And as we always say, we take our bullpen over just about anybody else's, and so that was a huge advantage for us going forward. Maybe going 125 pitches. Doug Nikhazy did that in a 9-0 shutout. Doesn't seem like the smartest idea, for long term, like health of his arm and everything.
Yeah, let our guy Wes Burton eat.
Yeah, but whatever works for them. Like we said, we trust they didn't want to mess up their bullpen.
Man, if only their Friday starter wasn't injured for the game tonight against LSU.
Yeah, maybe they could have won. But
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. So about an hour before the game, we saw the lineup and saw that Hatcher was back at first for the Sunday game against Ole Miss, where I think that's where he's going to stay regardless of the slump on offense, which, it seems to still be there. But he's the best option for a defensive first baseman.
He made like 3 great defensive plays.
Yeah, he very well could be the reason that we won the game on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And he did get a hit in the rally that we had, but defensively he's very, very solid, and I'm willing to put up with a slump on offense.
Yeah, Fristow came out and struggled again. We didn't expect a second straight game with a struggle.
Yeah.
But we got it. But again, Houston Harding came in and slowed down the game for us.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to love Houston out of the bullpen.
Yeah. Pitches with a lot of passion too, and you gotta love that, especially in this Super Bulldog weekend where passion could be what wins you the game really, and just playing with fire, and so their starter McDaniel, it was his first Sunday start of SEC play, and man, he looked really really good. Made it into the 6th inning, and then I think we led off that inning with. Was it Hancock flying out, and then they just wanted.
Let's just go down the list.
Yeah.
After Hancock flies out, Lotan gets a hit, Hatch gets a hit, Braylon gets a hit, Scotty gets a hit, Rowdy. Oh, I think Lane gets out between Braylon and DeBrule.
Yeah.
DeBrule gets a hit, Rowdy gets a hit, and then. Probably one of the most electric things I think either of us have ever experienced, and we were there for Big Hit Mac's last big hit.
I mean, this one, because I know all the emotion and all the meaning behind Mac's home run, that was still going to be a bigger moment, but this actually meant something in the game that was being played. That was just, kind of a cherry on top of a perfect super
You said,
regional.
I'm going to cry if he hits a home run right here, and then he hits a home run after he's not drafted. The whole story of Elijah McNamee and the boys.
And this just took us from a 4-4 tie to a 7-4 lead with a bases clearing triple by TA. And I looked at the guy that was beside me, and I just said, there's no chance right now that TA doesn't get a hit. Especially on a 2-0 count, you have to throw a fastball. TA just didn't miss it and just was thinking triple out of the box, and it was incredible to watch.
Yeah, one thing that we forgot to talk about somehow is how McDaniel was doing really, really good. Yeah. And then Bianco brought in a guy that has been really hit or miss all season.
Yeah.
A new freshman guy. Yeah, I don't know how you really put a freshman in this position after McDaniel gets an out, first of all.
Bianco doesn't even seem like a guy that's all into analytics. They don't shift. I don't see where this analytics part came in. It's just the classic righty lefty matchup. He sent his righty back out there to get Luke Hancock, got him out, and then Lotan was coming up as a right hander, and they just wanted to go with the matchup, I guess, over the guy who'd been just mowing us down the whole game, and it didn't work. So
I don't understand, because they have.
At this point, Ole Miss is up 4-2. They have
their entire bullpen.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then he struggles, gets absolutely touched, and then they bring in this big curveball hitter, and I'm seeing him, and I'm seeing DeBrule come up, and I'm like, yeah, DeBrule's got this. Yeah. I'm probably the only person in the stadium that's 80% sure that DeBrule's gonna get a hit right here, because I'm like, yeah, I'm talking to my Ole Miss friend. He's like, yeah, he's has a mean breaking ball, and I'm like, DeBrule's probably gonna sit on this, and then he gets it 0-2 count, and he just intelligent hit, reaching 4 feet out there and just knocking on third base line.
Yeah, with the threat of hurting somebody's feelings, it was very Jake-esque. Just between the third shortstop and third baseman. I know, how dare I say that, but it just looked like it's such a Jake Mangum hit, and just kept a rally going.
Yeah, and then they brought in Broadway.
And Tanner Allen didn't miss him.
Yeah,
so
counting away, TA gets it.
After this, we see just what I think is just a perfect, bullpen. Next couple innings, we see Parker Stinnett come out, have a good inning. A little shaky, but
good.
He was able to get out of his own mess, and for a first year guy here at State, that's really really awesome. Brandon Smith looked back to normal. Defense kind of bit him in the butt once again, but he looked really good. And then hearing the crowd get up on their feet and just start
before
cheering.
Landon even left. I saw Brian Haydad tweet, Landon is up and throwing, and there was there's a few people that just kind of saw this tweet at the same time, and it was just that it's game at that point.
Yeah, and that's what it's starting to feel like. It's just when he comes in the game, it's just too late for the other team. Like they might as well pack
If
it
you're
up.
seeing this, it's too late. What a great post by Hail State baseball.
So, that being said, we win the series 2-1, take Super Bulldog weekend, and we've won 16 of the last 19 against Ole Miss.
We don't lose to that school.
We don't lose to them. And like we said, we played UAB, pretty dominant performance, 19-7, I think was the final score. And moving on to the Vanderbilt series, where I think the mindset for most fans right now is, I hope we can go in there, go to Nashville and get one. I hate that mindset. We are a top 10, top 5 college baseball team, and I know Vandy is really good, but my goodness, let's just go in there.
If our aspirations are to win a national championship, I don't think we can live with the we hope we don't run into someone mentality.
Yeah,
because we've beaten them before. Not this team, not Kumar and Leiter, but we have beaten a great Vandy team before, and.
I mean, that's like being in Omaha and just being like, man, I hope we don't play anybody good. I mean, at that point, everybody's good. And in the SEC...
They're either good or lucky at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to play a lucky team just as much as I don't want to play a good team. So,
I think we've said we take our Bednar and McLeod. If they're on their good, we take them with anyone. Because, they can both give you a 3-hitter. Yeah. 2-hitter, no-hitter.
They can both take you into 6 innings, you know.
And then you get into our bullpen. So, I really think, I know it's Kumar and Leiter, best 1-2 possibly ever in college baseball.
Yeah.
But you got to score runs on the other side, and they very may will do that.
Yeah.
And
it just goes back to what you just said. I mean, if your aspirations for this team are to win a national championship, then there's no reason we should ever go into a weekend saying, man, I really hope we can get one win.
You can say we need to win one, like that.
I mean, for resume, especially with hosting sites coming out in a couple weeks, I think all you need is one.
Mm-hmm.
But, my goodness. You'll hear my prediction in a little while, but it's not, I hope we can go in and get one. That being said, so Friday we're going to see McLeod and Kumar Rocker. So, it's our first time seeing Kumar Rocker since seeing him in Omaha in 2019, where, he was the talk of college baseball at the time and still is today. But what you got about Kumar?
Kumar's so good.
Yeah.
Seems like he has a 5-pitch repertoire, which seems ridiculous.
Yeah. He's ready for it. It looks like he's ready for the MLB.
Yeah. So. He could be in the rotation on a couple MLB teams, it feels like.
Yeah.
McLeod has to be good. And we've seen Kumar not be good.
Yeah.
He doesn't let it affect him long.
Mm-hmm.
He goes right back to Kumar-esque. He'll have a bad inning, but he will respond to them and shut you out the rest of the game.
Yeah. And I think that, I don't know, he and Jack Leiter, who we're going to see on Saturday, are 2 completely different pitchers, but the keys against both of them are really the same. You have to take advantage of what opportunities you get, whether it is that bad inning or even just, one extra base hit or one guy you get on base. You have to take advantage of that and score them, or you might not get another opportunity.
Yeah.
It could go from, okay, here's an opportunity for us to score 3 runs, and you miss that and you get shut out.
Yeah, that could be the difference in the game. 1 at bat, 2 at bats the entire game, and that could be the entire series with 2 at bats.
Yeah, and just looking at guys on our team that are hot right now, looking at guys who need to be hot. So Tanner Allen just seeing the ball like crazy right now. Hustling, getting extra base hits every time he comes up. It seems like, whether it's against Ole Miss, against UAB, whoever. And he's played in this park before. He's played against Vanderbilt, and he knows. He knows what it takes to be a good hitter, to have a good team, and to play against good teams. And so I think he's going to be what people say on Twitter. He's going to be lava. So Hancock and Logan Tanner. Logan Tanner's really been heating up, and Luke Hancock's been struggling, but he was able to get a few hits against UAB. And so who else do you have that needs to have a big weekend?
Sounds weird, but I think Scotty DeBrule. I don't know how. The bat may get ripped out of his hands against Kumar Rocker with his fastball. But,
my goodness, though, if he walks... That bat is going out of the stadium.
It's going over the monster.
He's slinging that bat.
It's going into the football stadium.
I like to think like he's never going to hit a home run, so like he has to get his bat flipped out of the way somehow. So
yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Scotty and Hatch play good. Yeah, that would really do it for me. I mean, we know Vanderbilt's going to come really good. They have the highest team batting average in the SEC. Enrique Bradfield Jr. is absolutely shredding the SEC right now.
So fun to watch, too.
He's batting .336 and has 26 stolen bases, and he's a fantastic center fielder. Like, Enrique Bradfield Jr.
Yeah.
Remember the name. Yeah, so that... It's weird. You can't give them bases. It doesn't feel like we're going to have to play good defense, not walk people, and have good starts. And I feel like Vandy is looking at this the exact same way.
Yeah.
They're going to have to play well to beat us. We're going to have to play well to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how it's going to be. We're really good teams.
Yeah, and this isn't like us playing Alabama in football, because I think Alabama is clearly, nobody would argue that they're clearly miles ahead of us in football. Vanderbilt's not miles ahead of us in baseball. This isn't a major league team versus a college team. This is, we're equal playing field. They have a few more national championships than we do, but they're a college
so does
baseball.
Wichita State.
They're a college baseball team. So does Georgia. But it's just we are up there with them.
Yeah, and you have to think that we are up there with them. Like, I guarantee you, Tanner Allen's not walking on the field going, "Man, I hope Kumar takes it easy on me today." Like, maybe I'll get lucky and Kumar will have a bad day.
Maybe I'll get a hit today. No, he's going in there fired up, man. He knows that we're fine.
And you'd assume that the whole team is doing that exact same thing.
Yeah, and if he's the leader on our team, he's probably giving him some very inappropriate pregame speeches, to fire him up for it. So,
yeah, and then on to Saturday, Bednar versus Jack Leiter. Jack Leiter has been
as good as you can be.
Maybe better than Kumar.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I've heard that this could be like number 1 and number 2 overall picks, and Leiter might be number 1 by a big margin.
Yeah.
Like
0.98 ERA.
That's ridiculous. It's crazy. He's been so good, and I know we talked about Kumar, having 5 different pitches. Well, Leiter actually doesn't have that. He has obviously he's fastball heavy, but he has a good slider. I think a changeup too, and that might be all that he has. Which I say all that he has. It's still incredible.
Oh man, he only has a 3-pitch mix where he has perfect control of each of them.
Yeah, and on a perfect day, I think we've seen a couple perfect days. He's unhittable. Pitched a no-hitter against South Carolina.
He's so good.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah.
But it has very few weaknesses, and I think the few weaknesses that he does have, Tennessee was able to really take advantage of them the other day. They had a huge series against Tennessee last weekend that Vanderbilt was able to win 2-1, but on Saturday, Leiter's start, he'd given up 1 home run coming into it and gave up 3 home runs in this game. And so I know we're not a home run hitting team, but neither is Tennessee. They just
the guy that hit 3 home runs in that game was batting like 150 on the season, and had like not many home runs. He was just kind of put in there, and had the game of his life. And
like we say with most teams, we take our bullpen over most people's bullpens. We take them over Vanderbilt's too.
Yeah, Vanderbilt has a setup guy and a closer. That's their really only 2 constant guys. Their setup man has a .9 ERA, and wow. And their closer has a 3.86 ERA. So he's gotten in like a little bit of trouble like sometimes, but I don't think it's been much.
Yeah.
But the bridge guy's been great.
Mm-hmm. So just taking advantage of mistake pitches, which you're not going to see many of them, but with some veteran guys in this lineup, I think we're able to I hope we're able to take advantage of those mistakes when we see them. So that's really your only chance at beating Leiter.
And one good thing about playing Vanderbilt is even when they're at their home stadium, I know it's not full capacity right now, they're not going to have a crazy home field advantage. It's not going to be like a big swing and energy game.
Yeah.
Their players bring their own energy, and I feel like our players also do that.
Yeah.
Like Kumar and Leiter, they're both fiery guys.
I mean, if you let them get on a roll, they're going to stay on it.
Yeah.
And like we said, you just got to take advantage of opportunities that you get and take advantage of the mistakes when they come. And, unless the Vandy Whistler's there, you're not going to have crazy home field advantage.
Yeah, and that's Friday and Saturday. Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
If you can win one of those, we've proved ourselves to be right up there. We deserve to be top 8, top 5, top 4 team. And then that goes on the Sunday. And Vanderbilt has been shaky on Sundays. They've struggled to find a starter. They're on like their third or fourth Sunday starter of the season.
Yeah.
It's going to be Patrick Riley, maybe. They haven't announced it yet.
Yeah.
Their other option pitched the midweek, pitched like 5 innings, so don't think it's going to be him.
Yeah. We've seen Vanderbilt on a few Sundays just look really, really shaky, where they dominate the first 2 games and just look like a completely different team on Sundays. We saw it in a non-conference series early in the year with Oklahoma State, where I think they won by double digits the first 2 games and then lost the Sunday game. Saw it with South Carolina as well. They lost that Sunday game. They lost the Sunday game to Georgia, and
lost the series
to Georgia, which is huge. But I mean, thinking about that, it's like, does their offense perform, up to the level of their pitching? Like with Kumar and Leiter, are they? Does their offense perform better with those guys on the mound? You really have to think, because even with these, with like a lesser Sunday starter, they're not even putting up the same
Georgia
runs.
Destroyed them on Sunday.
I mean, it only makes sense that if Vanderbilt
it was a rubber match, and Georgia just went out there and handed it to them.
If Vanderbilt doesn't even have a really good pitcher for their Sunday guy, then I know Georgia doesn't, and they weren't able to hang runs on Georgia. So, you got to wonder. You got to think our Sunday guy, Fristow, even though he's been shaky, you still got to take him over.
And we have a big
Vanderbilt
bullpen behind them, and
yeah,
you'd assume that they won't have it, because I feel like they'll be protecting a close lead, or a close game in Friday and Saturday. So I expect us to kind of get into their bullpen, like not really heavy, but they'll make appearances, and I don't think they're going to pitch anyone 3 times in a series unless it's the closer just pitching 3 innings.
Yeah. So a few scenarios here. I take us in this game if we lose the first 2. I don't think we get swept. I think if we lose the first 2, this is our game to win.
Yeah.
We're pulling out all the stops, and we are going to do anything we can to win this game. If we win one of the first 2, I think it's kind of the same mentality. Like, we've come this far, we might as well win the series.
Mm-hmm.
The only way I think we are at a disadvantage, which I know it sounds weird, is if we win the first 2. If we find a way to beat Kumar, find a way to beat Leiter, I think Vanderbilt is going to do exactly what I just said. They're going to pull out all the stops and try to win this Sunday game. And
they do need a resume builder.
Yeah.
Right now
they don't have anything.
They have Tennessee, and we really don't know how really good Tennessee is right now.
Yeah. So I don't see any team in the series getting swept. But as weird as it sounds, I think we are more likely to lose the Sunday game if we win Friday and Saturday.
I mean, I don't want to say it makes sense, because it doesn't, but then it does, because the emotional aspect of baseball.
Yeah.
And just how stuff works.
No, don't get me wrong. A sweep, I would be hooting and hollering.
If we get a sweep,
Sheesh.
Oh my god.
All that being said, I think that's all we have for our recap of this series. We're going to move forward to who our standout players are going to be, and I'm actually going to let you start off on this one. So who you got just standing out among all the rest?
I think I'm going to go Landon.
Landon again? Okay.
I think we're going to see 2 appearances from Landon. It seems
what about 3? If there was a series,
that'd be me predicting a sweep. Honestly,
yeah,
I can't imagine Landon going out and losing. Oh wait, Arkansas. But I think Landon Sims. I think we're gonna see him twice, and if he seals up 2 wins for us, I think he has to be the player of the week.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with a guy who. I'm going out on a limb, and I'm gonna say Logan Tanner. I know he really struggles with breaking balls, really struggles with sliders, especially. Just looks pedestrian when he sees them. That being said, and I know he's playing two of the best pitchers in the world right this weekend.
Both was really good sliders.
Both really good sliders, yeah. Lotan, though, just you can see him becoming a better hitter, a better baseball player as the year goes on, and especially in the last 2 weeks, he's just been seeing the ball really, really well. And I think he's just going to show up.
And even on top of that, defensively, making a few plays.
Oh, yeah. If he throws out Enrique Bradfield, that's going to be on highlight reels forever.
The SEC steals leader right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has potential offensively and defensively. Thank you for bringing that up, to be a standout player. So I'm excited to watch him play.
You know what time it is?
What's that?
It's time for series prediction.
All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. We're winning 2-1.
Okay, what games do you have us winning?
We're winning Friday. Leiter's going to shut us down on Saturday. And not Doug Nikhazy level. I think we're going to score, actually. But
wow, that's bold.
That is bold, I know. And then we're coming out, like I said, pulling out all the stops on Sunday, and we're going to win that game. Win the rubber match. So going up 2-1.
I cannot get a prediction right. So I'm going to say we get swept.
Okay.
So it won't happen.
All right. For the content.
For our team to win, I'm going to say that we get swept.
For the content, obviously, it's different than my pick, but for it to not happen, that's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Because I'm ice cold on picks. I have not been right.
All right.
What a weird thing, being hot and cold.
All right, so that's all that we have. That's officially all we have for the Vanderbilt series. We're moving forward to Instagram questions, and thank you guys for sending those again. If you ever have any questions about anything that we say about the series that we've just played, series coming up, please don't hesitate to ask us. And always, if you see a prompt for questions on Instagram, even if you don't have a question at hand, just dig really deep and find one. And we really appreciate it. And it gives us a little bit more time here at the end of the show to really engage with you guys. So that being said, what's our first question?
Okay, from Jace Gollaby. He was here for the Sunday game of the Ole Miss series.
Mm-hmm.
Great first game of the dude. Best spot in Duty Noble?
I think me and you might have found our favorite in the last couple weeks, and that's the Omaha Club.
Yes, Omaha Club is fantastic.
I haven't sat in Triple Crown yet. At this point, I've sat rooftop, behind the plate, like section 208 in the upper deck.
That's a pretty good one.
We've sat in boxes. We've sat in Omaha Club. Sat on berms in the outfield. I think Omaha Club is as good as it gets.
Omaha Club is so good.
Such a great view.
The private table.
Such a great view, and you get food the entire game. Anything you want.
It's great.
Yeah, there's no beating that.
So many cookies. Okay.
I mean, it's got to be a better view than the Triple Crown Club. I like that. I like a higher view than.
Yeah, because we liked section 201 more than right behind the plate section 1.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Omaha Club.
Yeah.
Get in there if you haven't. Okay, and then from Football James.
Even if it's just for a midweek too.
Yeah, midweek's great time.
We're not getting in there for SEC series.
Yes, go have fun. Go eat dinner.
Yeah,
it's a great time. Okay, and then from Football James 17, do you think any team will score more than 8 runs in a game this series?
I know that's kind of hard to predict. Hard for me to think like that, but I think Sunday we'll see somebody have 8, and I hope it's us. It's probably both teams, honestly.
Yeah. SEC.
I mean,
Sunday
Vanderbilt,
baseball.
I know we haven't talked much about their offense. Vandy has a really good offense, and ours is heating up at the right time. So, we could be in for a little slugfest there on Friday. On Sunday,
Honestly, it could randomly be every game, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, wow.
We watched on a Friday night against Kumar Rocker, and they weren't all against him, but a Georgia team hit 7 home runs. A Georgia team who didn't come into who by no means is a home run hitting team, hit 7. In the same ballpark. So we could see it happen and really wouldn't be that surprised. So
that's going to be it for the show today, everyone. Hope we have a good weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see you again next week at this time. If you have any questions, any comments, anything for us, reach out to us on Instagram. We love the interaction with our listeners. And yeah.
And obviously we have made our predictions already, and we've already said that about our fans and what the mentality should be going into this. We very well could go in here and get swept, but I think that our mentality shouldn't be, we're just going to go get swept by Vanderbilt again, because, the last 2 times we've been to Nashville, we've won the series, so let's make it 3 in a row. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next time. I know we could get swept. It ain't for a win 2-1. We're not losing the series.
Dude, I've been coughing this whole time and they haven't heard a single one of them.
Dude, do you have coronavirus?
Nah, bruh.